Nation. I'm your host, Fred Eichler. We just got dropped off in the middle of the Yukon, and we're going to try to find a wolf and maybe even a grizzly bear. There goes our pilot. Just like that, you're in the middle of nowhere. Great thing about the Yukon is you know you're up in the wilderness when you need a plane just to get into the area that you're going. Mac Watson, one of the owners of Yukon Stone Outfitters, had told me he'd take us out on a pretty unique hunt. What he was going to do is set us up with one guide and let me backpack in. Now I love backpacking because it's a hardcore way to hunt. We loaded up, we tried to keep our packs to about 50 pounds, and you've got to carry everything you're going to need for the next 10 days on your back. Once we got in there, we set up camp quick and decided to do a little scouting. Now you can't hunt and fly on the same day, so we were just looking around the country and glassing to see if we could find any game. Well, spotted a mountain caribou up here first day. I spotted a cow moose past camp this morning in the willows, so we're gonna keep going a little bit further and see if we can spot something else. The small lake that we landed on was absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful country, beautiful terrain, big mountains around us, and we decided to make a big loop and hike to another landing strip. It was gonna be about a 12-mile hike, but we were ready to go. Well, our first day still. Spent the night here last night. This morning we hiked up, saw a caribou and one cow moose. We're gonna go ahead and move camp. We want to get up over this pass. We've got a lot more country over there, huh?
Yeah, there's good country.
We're gonna load up, move camp. You can see we're in some beautiful country here in the Yukon, up on the top of this mountain, blasting down a big valley. We're gonna sit up here for a while, see what we can see. Probably make our way down, find a place to camp. We've got to work it out for us, but we're in the right country to do it. We hiked into a big long valley that looked like a great place to call. So I got my mouth call, we set up, and I started calling.
Pretty good pile of grizzly scat right there. So we know they're in the area. We're just gonna kind of set up places where we can glass.
Wouldn't you know, it wasn't long when all of a sudden we see this huge grizzly and he's walking right toward us. This thing's coming right into the call and I am excited. Now Logan, my guide, takes off. He decides he wants to get closer to this grizzly bear that's coming toward us, and I'm trying to wave him off because the wind was really iffy. I'm like, man, I can shoot him from right here, and he wanted to get me in close.
Watch the wind. Grizzly coming right down the mountain. He winded us. It was all over, just like that.
Man, I was heartbroken. It was a huge boar, and I called him into the call, but we didn't get him. Well, it's day 7 of our trip, and we've seen caribou, moose. We almost killed a grizzly, and I missed a wolf. So we're gonna stay at her. We got 3 more days, and let's get her done. All right. We decide to hike to this big ridge that's a couple miles from camp. We take our time working up the ridge. We get up there and we start glassing. And almost instantly, Logan, who's glassing on the left side, I'm glassing the right, he says, "Grizzly!" And I'm looking all around to see this grizzly, thinking it's gonna be close. And I look and see where he's looking, and he's looking about 1.5 miles away, up on this snow-covered mountain. And here's this big grizzly up there, and it's digging in the rocks for squirrels. We had 3 drainages coming down. So I was worried. I said, let's watch it for a little while, because if this bear drops down one of those drainages, while we drop down going after it, we won't know which drainage it's in. It'll get in those tall spruce trees, and we'll never find it again. So we watched this grizzly. Well, after 20 minutes, it's obvious that this bear is pretty intent on digging squirrels out of the rocks.
Okay, we took off after we bailed off the ridge. We're down to the bottom now. The bear's across from us. We're just trying to watch the wind. Figure out a best plan to go after him. I think we're gonna bail through this creek bottom and up the top and try and catch him.
So we go up a little further, we spot the grizzly, it's still up in the rocks digging squirrels, and it's over 700 yards away.
There's my grizzly, 700 yards away. We need him to come down. We're gonna have to go after him. But it's wide open. 700 yards is a little far.
I look at the terrain quick, I check the wind, and I tell Logan, if you stay here, you can see me and the grizzly. I think I'm gonna drop down, downwind, and come up. There was one little pile of rocks, and I thought I could use that pile of rocks to hide the grizzly from him seeing me sneaking up on him.
Right there, look.
I didn't need to put another shot, but I thought, you know what? It's always better to be safe than sorry. So I shot one more time, and that grizzly was out for the count.
That's how you smoke a grizzly in the Yukon! Woo! Look at that!
A beautiful blonde grizzly was now going to become a permanent resident of Colorado.
Look at that bear. We drug it out of this little drainage it was in. What a stalk. I mean, that was just awesome. Beautiful blonde colored bear. And I'm here with my guide, Logan Hodson, and we have had a blast. 1.5 mile stalk too. Man, we were running through down timber. We came off that mountain over there after Logan spotted this bear, and what a beautiful stalk.
We got back down to camp. It was a long hike to get back down, especially when we had a load of bear. I called Mac on the satellite phone, and he said, "Fred, that's awesome. I'm stoked for you. I got some bad news there on that little landing strip. I can't fly you guys out of there, but I will land. I'll take the grizzly and I'll fly it back. But you guys are gonna have to hike another 12 miles to another lake where I can drop a float plane in and pick you up." So we loaded the packs back up, took a long hike to get to the next spot, but there he had some cabins. It was a beautiful setup, a wood stove, and we were living the good life for that last night.